Good evening, friends. Welcome to our friends here at the Temple of Light at Ananda Village, and welcome to our friends online. We have a special program tonight to launch this beautiful book, Trained in Divine Love. And it's a real honor and privilege to be here with Nayaswami Bharat to do this. So Swamiji once said that love is bliss in motion. And that's really the theme of our program tonight, to launch this book, which is a blissful movement of energy, which is what Anandi represented. It's not about her as a personality, but as the principle and the spirit that she represented. So it'll be a fun mixture. We'll begin with Nayaswami Devi did a recording a couple months ago before Jyotish and her went to India. So we'll start with that. This will be a short 5-minute video. She's actually reading the foreword from the book and sharing just a few words. So that'll be very sweet. And then Bharat, Nayaswami Bharat, will share some of the inspiration and how this book came to be. And just the gem and gift that it is in that way. And then we'll have another short video of Anandi. And it's it's her last encounter with Swamiji. It's actually, you probably have seen it. It's from that video that Aaron had posted recently. And it's beautiful and apropos, again, of her spirit, which was not bringing attention to her, but redirecting it to God and Guru.
Is given to God. Blessed, blessed, the ways where his feet have trod, all the joys that human heart can know, may his love on you bestow. May all dangers from your path be moved, all delusion by his truth disproved. Blessed, blessed, the life that is given to God. Blessed, blessed, the heart open to his love. just for once come to me. Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, I look for thee night and day.
Join us.
Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Wilt thou come, just for once come to me? Wilt thou come, just for once come to me? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, I look for thee night and day.
We'll now have Devi as recording of her reading her forward from the book and sharing a few words about Anandi and Trained in Divine Love.
Hello, friends. Greetings from Jyotish and me from India. We're sorry that we can't be with you in person, but we're happy we can at least be a part of this book launch for our beloved friend Anandi's book, Trained in Divine Love. I was asked to write a preface for the book, and people thought it would be additive to the evening if I read it to you now. And I hope you enjoy it, and I think it is a good preface for this beautiful book. Anandi and I met for the first time one hot summer morning in 1971, soon after she had arrived at Ananda village. We were working together, trying to get a field of clay-hard soil ready for planting. This apparent stranger toiling beside me quietly commented to herself, "This is an existential experience. It's like raking a sidewalk." Those few quiet words triggered a profound recognition within me, an awakening of an old, dear friendship. We began talking and soon discovered an astonishing connection. It turned out that we'd grown up just 1 mile from each other in St. Louis, Missouri, thousands of miles from where we now stood, but had never met. Such was our destiny that it wasn't until that bright summer morning in the midst of a barren field in Northern California that a lifelong friendship took root and flowered. Over the next 50 years, our relationship was a source of mutual joy, support, and inspiration. The empty field in which we first met was a fitting symbol for the lifelong journey we traveled together. Since we were both new to the spiritual path at that time, our consciousness resembled untended soil, overgrown with weeds of worldly thinking. But we kept at it. And over time, a crop grew in that garden, just as our consciousness changed and bore spiritual fruit as the years went by. The outer harvest of Anandi's spiritual efforts was an abundant, never-ending crop of divine friendship, wisdom, support, and guidance, which she shared selflessly with everyone she met. What a joy it was to see her engaged in an animated conversation with some new guest at the Expanding Light. For anyone's guest, they were the best of friends. Return visitors often said that they came back just to talk to her. After Anandi's passing in 2022, her devoted husband, Bharat Cornell, describes in his introduction how he found a manuscript sharing her personal journey, Trained in Divine Love, My Life with Paramhansa Yogananda and Swami Kriyananda. Though Anandi and I had been close for many years, when I read her words, it struck me powerfully how little I really knew her. Anandi's true self was expressed only in her relationship to God and Guru. She describes how God trained, disciplined, and guided her through her journey to find him. Her deep longing and search for divine union are reflected in the lyrics of Swami Kriyananda's beautiful song, God's Call Within. Listen, listen, whispering within your soul, hints of laughter, hints of joy, sweet songs of sadness, of quenchless yearning for the light, for my love, your true home. For everyone who knew her, there was a great sense of sadness and loss at Nayaswami Anandi's passing. Yet, as time has passed, and we read in this book about how hard she labored in the fields for God, we can rejoice in the fact that we shared a life together with her. Jesus Christ said, "The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few." Whether you had the blessing of knowing her or not, I believe she would want you to share in the plentiful harvest she found living for God. So we hope you enjoy reading the book, and we hope you feel blessed by Anandi's life of devotion and service, and I think ultimate union with God. God bless you all, and we'll see you soon.
So for those who don't know, now Nayaswami Bharat, who was married to Anandi for Friends Online for many years, is going to share the inspiration and that was behind this book and how it came into fruition.
About 4 or 5 months after Anandi passed, and I had sort of adjusted to my new life, and that I had a dream. And in this dream, a book hovered over my forehead. And I felt I was supposed to do something with this book. I didn't know if I was to write another book. It wasn't. I didn't feel it was time for me to write. But I was trying to see what the title was, because if you're going to be involved with a book, it's nice to know the subject. So I intently looked, and when Tachendra, who made the cover of the book, he wanted to know all the details of what did the cover look like on an astral level, but it was on an energetic level, and didn't even have a title. And but I got my first clue when, just as I was awakening, there was Anandi was just, or someone was just leaving the bedroom, and it was Anandi's voice that said, "Bye, just full of bliss." And so I sensed, I was going to be with Anandi, but I'd forgotten about her manuscript. She had sent it to me 2018. She'd been still working on it, the stories of Swami. And then she, about 5 days later, under the hatch in our living room, there's always things on the top, I was looking for Swami's letters, and there was the manuscript. And so I had my project for me, and it was a wonderful healing experience. Master said that if we want to feel someone's presence, think of them the night before, and then you'll feel their energy in the morning. And that was the case on many mornings when I woke up. So I had to, the stories of Swami were pretty much completed, and but then there was no part 2 of the book. And when I was looking through Anandi's private papers, there were all these letters that she had written to Master on his birthday, January 5th, and during her yearly seclusion. And there was just so many wonderful things in there, and I thought that should, Anandi they were sort of precious to Anandi, but since she was no longer in the body, and since she sent the book to me, I know that she wanted it done and finished and presented. And so I added that, and then there were all these wonderful stories of Anandi appearing to people all over the world and sharing her bliss with them. And it was quite remarkable. And all the people that, she visited the Assisi Astral Ascension Ceremony, was there, seen live, and I don't, at least by one person. And she appeared to a lot of the Ananda online Kriya students that had taken initiation from her, helping them get their aura around their Kriya practice. And there's many other things that she visited people. Also, she was helping me. As she was helping all kinds of other people. The first dream that she really gave to me, which was my marching orders, so to speak, was that she appeared, and it was a living room with about 12, 14 people at Ananda Village, and I asked Anandi how she's doing. And the only word she said was, "I'm enjoying the bliss of the Heavenly Father in the spine." And that was it. And I was feeling all kinds of encouragement from her. And to go in this direction, I knew it was my next step. And so everything kept leading to that. And I had a recent conversation with her in September. And she said that she's, just as I'm helped you on earth, I'm trying to help you and everyone from the high causal world. And at first, we didn't really know what her state of realization was. I mean, we don't have Swami with us, and he would sometimes comment on people and their passing and how exalted it was. And I felt as her husband, it wasn't my place to say anything. But I had some experiences that led me to believe that she had really attained a high state. And as time passed, 3 days before she passed, I would get a little break from taking care of her, and I would go down to the temple of gratitude, and for a little, maybe 35-minute meditation, and I would go with a buddy, and the first one was Nitai, and then Pranaba, and then 2 months afterwards with another couple, and Anandi was trying to show me and all of us what her consciousness was, because as I just sat down, I just started to meditate, all of a sudden I saw a violet circle with a very magnetic tunnel, which is the Brahma Nadi channel, and it's where the soul escapes. And Anandi was showing me where she went. At least I firmly believe that. And then in talking with her, she talked more about that after I'd had time to digest things for a while, I guess. But I lost body consciousness, and the breath was gone. But then I hit the cement, and that brought me back to body consciousness. And shortly afterwards, Nandi said, "I tried to give you God's bliss, but he wouldn't let me, so it wasn't my time." But it was just so inspiring to see someone like all of us who with great earnestness gave every ounce of her energy to God. And that was her whole purpose. And, Swamiji was talking about attitude is the most important thing that we're practicing in our lives here. And he said, what is perfect attitude? It's absolute purity of heart. And he said in the talk right afterwards, this isn't a correction. I found in all of your attitudes that it is. He said, I haven't seen it anywhere else, or just about anywhere else. So he's very, very pleased. He said it's something to. I know you're all working on it, and just keep working on it, and that will take us there. It's purity of heart. It's not the experiences we have in meditation or anything like that, but it's how much are we with God. And Swami said to be living for God and in God. And just before this class, I looked at the wall in Nandi's bedroom, and she had a little piece of artwork, and it had Swami's face he put together. Then it had a little circle, and it said, "Live in the thought of God." So Anandi was very, very vigilant, and she just didn't let anything go by her, anything that would create a barrier between Swami or Master. She was just right on it, and in terms of trying to lift it and offer it up to God and Master or Swami. And she just had total faith that if she couldn't do it, they could do it. And she, with all of her energy, she offered herself into their light and gave the whole, anything more than what she wasn't doing, but she was doing everything she could to, really give it in Master's light. There's a beautiful passage in the book that a lot of people find just especially inspiring, and I'd like to read it to you. This is when she would write her letters to Master. We all understand because we're devoted disciples of our Guru, and we know that it's a living relationship, and it's not bound by or limited by a physical plane. And and so she would intuitively carry on a conversation with Master. And this is what she wrote one day. I think it was 2007. Thoughts of you fill my heart today. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I felt you looking thoughtfully at me, and inwardly I heard you say, the quirks have disappeared. I think so too. When a ship is taken into pure water, the barnacles drop off. Similarly, when God allows a devotee to live in the pure spiritual water that surrounds a guru, faults disappear without effort. I have only one job: to keep my consciousness with you, to grow in love and joy and attunement, to try to be connected to you in love and joy, and to share that through service at Ananda. She was once in seclusion, and she had just finished actually, I think Narayan would remember the exact title. It was a wisdom book on principles of success. What's the title? How to be a success. Yeah, How to Be a Success. I knew it was close. And it was during the time that Ananda had a lawsuit, and she wanted to do something to help. And she'd been in seclusion, having a wonderful seclusion. And she was just, everything was you as a master. And just moment to moment, she was with master. But she got this idea that maybe she could use the principles of this book to create a little project to earn money for the lawsuit. And then Anandi just sort of pulled back and, whoa, what's going on here? Because she was so much into a you relationship of just God and that she didn't want anything to take her away out of that, especially in seclusion. She used the energy of that wonderful seclusion to work creatively and rise even more higher in her what she was doing. So of course she did, but it was really she just saw from the very beginning that this is what's important. Sometimes she would, in comparing ourselves to a couple of her peers, Nayaswami Shivani and Nayaswami Devi, she'd go, I don't have a work that is mine to do. I don't feel the call to, I don't have a mission like they do. and I would have to kind of stop Anandi and say that, well, you have edited these, the 8-volume series in the Wisdom of Yogananda. You have a great impact at the Expanding Light, and which she all knew. But Anandi said in her private papers that she wasn't interested in anything else but finding perfect love. Even like a teenager. And so she didn't have other outside interests. And in 1971, that's when she met Swamiji. And she learned about Master. And she was introduced to divine love, and they trained her in that love. And she was a very keen student of just offering every flaw up to Master and giving it to there. And then she wanted to share the divine love that she felt from them, and to give it back. It was so much in abundance that this is it went. Well, it's the nature of bliss to share. You want to share, and the more that you feel the bliss, love is an expression of bliss. And so. This is something that was very dear to Anandi's heart. She was always thinking of the spiritual eye. And when we focus at the spiritual eye, Master said the love in the heart just streams up through the spine and goes out to the world. And she created this little poster. I didn't bring it here. It's out in the foyer where the books are. And it was a little poster. It said the spiritual eye. And she would... and then it was like Master, and then it was like the healing energy, and then concentrating on the spine. And then she would send out that love, and it was just on her desk, just to share it with everyone that she met. And Anandi was very, very humble. She just didn't want to take ownership of anything. And there's a humorous story in the book that I'd like to read to you. It was the first wisdom series, How to Be Happy at All Times. And it was the first one. Swami wasn't quite sure of what Crystal Clarity is wanting and what the project exactly was. And so Anandi put the book together. And as she was putting the book together, everything just flowed. She just really knew and saw how Master was doing it all through her. And she didn't even sense that she was the doer at all, because how could she be, because of that presence of Master that she felt through the whole process. Well, Swami complimented Anandi on the book the first time. And she wouldn't take it because she said, a master did it. And then about a minute later or so, Swami complimented her again on the book. And Ananda said, no, master did it. And then after the third time Swami complimented her on the book, Ananda thought, well, I'm not the doer that hasn't been working. And so she just stayed silent. And then she said, thank you, sir. and then a little bit later on, she was thinking about it because Swami had 3 times thanked her for the book. And she realized that Swami was thanking her for getting herself out of the way, so that Master could just be totally present in the book. And she was all love and kindness and that, but there was a fierceness to her in terms of really giving all her energy to God and nothing but that. And that was what was so inspiring to be around her, is that this is just the whole purpose of our lives. It's just, I know all of our lives are dedicated to this, and Nandi's gone on before. And I've just seen, just in reading all the letters or private correspondence and hearing about people who Nandi would just share her bliss with just all over. And she says she's still helping us from that level. She said, just as I was helping you on earth, she was speaking to me, I'm helping you from the cause of the world, and I'm helping all my friends. And every time there would be something, because we were conversing, and then she would step in and say, all my friends, just because the heart, universal heart is big, and it contains all of us. And so early on in writing the book, I felt what a precious gift it is to tell Anandi's story and all the things that made her such a wonderful devotee, and help people to be open to her. And because she had given so many people really deep blessings. Swami Kriyananda said that it's important to pray to people that we're close to that have gone on to the other side. And he told the story of, it was his mother's, I think, birthday, or it was the day anyway he wanted to pray for his mother, who is a spiritual woman. And he was going to, but then he had a irregular heartbeat, and he was quite ill. So instead of praying to his mother, he asked for his mother's prayers, and there was a wonderful healing that came from her. And so people on the other side can really help us. We have a lot of good friends there already. Nayaswami Padma, shortly after Nandi passed, or maybe just before, when she was not really earthbound anymore, she saw Seva and Leela and Anandi all enjoying bliss together in the higher worlds. And so we're living among saints right here with us in the village, and many have gone on. This is Master's such a great avatar, and all our avatars are. And Swami just at one point some years ago, he said that we could all be jiva muktas if we apply ourselves. And if not in this life, it'll be awful close. All we have to do, Master said that to be attracted to an inner path such as this, we have to be very, very close to God. And so by being vigilant and offering everything and not letting anything separate ourselves from God, then we can get there. And one thing I wanted to talk about is that Anandi, she really started to focus at the spiritual eye all the time. She said the energy should be flowing all the time at the spiritual eye. And this is something we all practice, and masters said that the more that we do, the quicker we can advance. But just all the time, Anandi was doing that practice. And in doing so, she it just became a real strength for her. She said that there were times, this was some years before she passed, so who knows what it was like just before, but at times her spiritual eye and Swami's were united, they were one. And it just became, just so deep for her as a practice. And when she was very ill, I was just sort of thinking today that just almost 2 years ago, Anandi passed. And she couldn't really get the medication until the last few days, and she was in a lot of pain. And she could only look at the spiritual eye and ask for help from Master. But she was in a practice of always focusing at the spiritual eye, that all night long, from evening till the morning, she was there at the spiritual eye, just asking for her Master's blessings. And she was able to hold that the whole night long. And so I'm sure she had help, but there was a part where she had to do it and be totally focused there, and she did. And I think that's what really freed her. I don't really know. I believe Anandi, I have to say, in terms of her state of consciousness and the experience I had when she was showing where she was of going through the channel in the crown chakra. But that's, it's for you to decide. But Anandi did achieve a very high state of consciousness and has blessed many, many people well beyond what she did on earth. She did a tremendous amount. But just days before she passed, Narayan was praying for Anandi. And then all of a sudden she wasn't in her physical body anymore. And that's when he sensed that my prayer should change. And so he was praying to Anandi. Just because she wasn't limited by the earthly body, and that's when Anandi's service expanded, and she was, just helping people just all over the earth, and we would get, people would, share with us what had happened with them and Anandi. So this book, I guess I should wave it to you. It's just a marvelous book because there's so many great stories. Anandi, in all humility, shared her process very honestly, and any barriers that she had, or she would just offer it up, and she would get the wonderful blessing in return of insight and greater attunement and joy. And so it's a beautiful book for discipleship, which we all are disciples. And, Master and all our masters have promised us that they'll be with us and that they can free us if we're vigilant and give ourselves totally. And so this is an example, one of many, of our great devotees at Ananda who have given themselves totally to God. And so I hope you enjoy the book, and many people have been deeply inspired by it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharat, for sharing from the heart with us. And I was thinking as Bharat was sharing that quote of Swamiji again, love is bliss in motion. And I think this talk of hers and the book is how she kept her love, as Master said, in a state of reason and balanced in that way. So this is a brief excerpt from that talk. I think it was Spiritual Renewal Week 2015. Those who are here at the village will know the scene here down at the amphitheater. For those who don't know, this is at Ananda Village, where Anandi was giving this talk about her last encounter with Swami Kriyananda. So we'll enjoy it. It's just a few minutes.
I'd like to leave you with a thought. This is turned out to be the last words Swamiji said to me in 2012, a year before he died. And I'm sharing them with you, not because he said them to me, but because I think he would say them to everyone here. They're not words that were meant to praise. They were words that were meant to redirect, to refocus, to point us in the direction of inspiration. What he said to me was, "Thank you for the love you have given me all these years." It was a beautiful and perfect example of the way he taught. There was nothing there for the ego to hold on to. He didn't say, "You're an exceptionally loving person. You're better at loving than anyone else." He just said, "Thank you for the love you have given me all these years." And what it does is it redirects your attention to what's really, really important inside of yourself, the love you have for God. And so what I would like to suggest as a takeaway for you from this week of so much inspiration is to take this into your meditation. I've done this many times, and see what it does for you. Imagine that God is saying to you, "Thank you for all the love you have given me through the years." And what it will do, don't worry if you don't think you've given God that much love. It doesn't matter. He didn't say that. He said, "Thank you for the love you have given me," not the love you didn't give me. So just focus, focus on the love you've given God, and it is a way to free yourself from ego. And it is a way to live in communion and community with everyone you meet. Namaste.
So I thought we would have a spiritual eye meditation, since that is such a strong practice of Anandi, and it's a strong practice for us too. And I'd like to read this beforehand. This is an edited version of one of the whispers of Eternity Prayers. It's, "I vow never again to turn my gaze from thee." And this was, I'm reading the way Anandi's notes were and what sentence she wanted to highlight. And then I'll say a little bit more just about the spiritual eye. "I take this sacred vow, never will I lower my love's gaze below the eyebrow horizon of my constant thought of thee. Never will I turn my uplifted inner sight away from thee. Never will I let my mind dwell on anything that reminds me not of thee. Thy grace has shown me that the dualities of health and sickness, of life and death, joy and sorrow, are but passing fantasies. I am persuaded at last that there is but one abiding reality, thy eternal, ever-conscious, ever-new, ever-thrilling, infinite bliss." So look at the point between the eyebrows, at the spiritual eye. Swami Kriyananda says that whenever we gaze there, feel the cooperation of the whole spine, being free to offer all our energy, all our consciousness at that point. And feel yourself living at that point, being drawn to that point. And feel the bliss at the spiritual eye. And feel that bliss expanding. And share that bliss with the rest of the world and all creation. We'll end our spiritual eye meditation by feeling the love in our heart, flowing up the spine, drawn by the magnetism of the spiritual eye, and feel that love spreading out into infinity, blessing all creation. Om, peace. Amen.
We want to invite everyone to come out into the foyer, and we have books for sale, and Bharat has a special little addition to the book, which is a stamp with Anandi's signature that he can put on the book. And for those joining online, of course, you can go to Crystal Clarity's website and pick up the book there. But let's close the beautiful evening and inspiration we've had by, again, sending blessings out to all the world, but through this book, thinking of it as an example of our lives, being trained in divine love and sharing these blessings by sending out 3 ohms out to the world that is in desperate need of divine love now. Peace. Amen.
I want to thank each and every one of you for helping Anandi during her transition, and through your love and your prayers. At one point, Anandi said, because I guess on the other side you can really feel the prayers even more powerfully. He said, only if they knew how much I appreciate their love. And she appreciated it so much that she joined some of you meditating out on the little driveway or the little parking place and that. But it's just in an email she wrote that, and just how deeply moved she was, and she wanted to be with us. And thank you all for being such dear friends of Anandi and myself too.